welcome to this random Thursday for December 28th, 2023. I'm Lori with Behavior Education at Spirit Keeper Animal Sanctuary, and I am prepping these 3 snakes to go to the veterinarian tomorrow for their annual wellness exam. Now, I've already got them in their travel carriers, even though we aren't leaving for a few hours. It's about 4 in the morning on Thursday, December 28th. Our appointment is at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'm leaving about noon to get up there to our exotics veterinarian in Centennial, Colorado. But I'm in the middle of my work night. I'm gonna be going to bed in a couple of hours and I'll wake up at 10 a.m. and I'm groggy when I first wake up. So I wanted to get these guys ready tonight. These guys were awake and alert, and I think they actually thought I was gonna feed them. But I went ahead and put them in their travel carriers and got them all ready for their trip to the vet tomorrow. This way they can settle into their carriers, and I'm not taking them right out of their enclosure, sticking them in a carrier, sticking them in the car, and traveling 90 minutes up to our vet. This way they have a few hours to settle in. So what do I take with them? They have hides in here. I've just got paper towels in the travel carriers. They each have a water dish, and they each have at least one thing from their enclosure, so they have something familiar with them. They're all labeled with their name, what type of snake they are, when they were hatched, and when they arrived here, and then when they last ate. And there's also one of my business cards with all of my information on it. And this way, if for some reason there's an accident, something happens to me, I get separated from the snakes, all of their information and my information is right on their carriers. What else do I take with me? I take reptile heating packs in case I need them. I shouldn't need them. And they're fine tonight in the house outside of their normal enclosure. I don't heat them at night anyway. But I keep the house at 78 degrees, and I'm going to be keeping my van warm. I don't like to be cold, so these are just for emergencies. I won't even open them up unless I need them. I do take a temp gun with me to make sure that everything is staying where it needs to be inside their carriers, in the van, and at the vet. But my veterinarian does provide a heating pad on the exam table for them. I am also taking a snake hook in case it's needed. I generally don't use one, but if there's an emergency and the snake gets someplace that I can't reach them, or they don't target out, then I have this for emergencies. And yes, I take their target with me and a set of tongs for emergency recalls, but also because we usually feed them during their wellness exams. We feed them while they're at the vet so that they have a positive experience with that visit. It's a fear-free certified veterinary practice, and all of the staff there are fear-free certified practitioners. And so we take our time during the exams. We try to use cooperative care, and they do get fed either during the visit or right after their exams, when they go back into their carriers. So in the morning or later this morning, the last thing I'll get is some feeders out of the freezer to take with me. Now, I also have one of these big butterfly tents behind me, because I will put that in my van, and then I will put these carriers inside this, and I will zip it up. And that way, if for some reason one were to get out of the carrier, or who knows, we are in an accident and something breaks or cracks, I just have a double containment system. So the carriers will go in this inside of my van. So you're probably wondering who I'm taking. I'm taking Candy Corn, who's already under her water dish, which is exactly where she likes to be in her enclosure. I'm taking Steuben, one of my children's pythons, and I'm taking Marcel, one of my other children's pythons. So here's a closer look at how I set up most of the travel bins. I usually have doors on them, or they're top opening, or both, and I have vents in them. This particular one has one of the old Draco portals, so there's a sliding front on it. And then I just usually use paper towels as substrate, or pillowcases, or regular towels for the trip, in case they spill water, in case they use the bathroom. It's easy for cleanup. It's just easy to see anything unusual that's going on, and it just makes cleaning up easier. So Candy Corn is one of the snakes that's going. That's her water dish.
She loves to lay under that. She spends a lot of time under the water dish. So that was the item I chose to bring with her for the trip. So this is what that travel bin looks like with her in it on the paper towels. I've just got a cardboard box, an empty cardboard box that I removed dog biscuits from in there in case she wants to hide. And then I'm going to put her water dish in there because that is what she likes to spend a lot of time underneath in her regular enclosure. And so it's going to make her a lot more comfortable for the trip if I take that with her. So candy corn's all packed up and settled for the night or the rest of the morning because it's about 4 a.m. and she's ready to go. And so next I'm going to get Steuben out. He's our adult children's python. We aren't exactly sure of his hatch date. We think it could be around 2010, which would make him about 13 years old. And for him, he's eager to come out, but I think that's because he wants to eat, or he's hopeful that I might be offering him something to eat. But for him, I'm just going to hold the travel bin up adjacent to his enclosure and see if he'll come out in it for me. And a lot of times, if it's a travel bin that the snakes are very used to, if they've ever been fed in it before, if they have good positive experiences associated with this travel bin, either as an exercise space or somewhere where they've eaten or something that has transported them to a good experience that they've had, they will just go right down into the travel bin. And then again, I've got a cardboard box in here for a hide. I've got paper towel substrate. And the one item I brought from his enclosure is his half log. I brought that half log with him. He's got his label with his information on it, and then a business card behind it with my information in case for some reason I am not with him at any point in time when he's away from home. So now he is all packed up and he's ready to go there with candy corn, and I'm going to move on to getting Marcel, our younger children's python, who was already in this box. So I just picked up this whole box and I put it in his little travel bin, and I've added a paper towel roll. He has a perch, and I'm just going to add his water dish from his enclosure so that he has water to drink during the trip if he wants when we're at the vet. And he is a big fan of fresh water, so he actually not only uses the brand new paper towel roll. Like the second I put all this in the travel bin, he came out of the box he was in. He got in the paper towel roll. And then as soon as I put fresh water in the travel bin, he decided that he would go ahead and drink from that. And so you get some bonus video here of a snake drinking water because I think that is one of the cutest things ever. So I've got all the snakes packed up. I have water for all of them. And these are the things I'm going to be taking along with them. A temperature gun to make sure I know what the temperature of the bins are, what the snake's skin temperature is like. I've got heat packs, I've got feeding tongs, I've got their target, and I have a snake hook in case of emergencies. Now I have a tip for you about great travel water dishes for your snakes. You don't want to use a water dish that could potentially be so heavy it injures the snake during the car ride, if it gets jolted around, if it shifts inside the bin. This is a rubber dish that is sometimes sold with dog kennels, but you can buy just the dishes from Amazon.com, from Chewies.com, from pet stores. They're very inexpensive, and it's just all rubber. It's very, very lightweight, and it folds up and then unfolds for you to put water in, and then folds back up for storage. It comes usually with a little carabiner, I guess, so that you can hook that onto something for storage. So this works really great as a travel water dish, and this is the one that I put in with Steuben. I didn't bring his water dish from his enclosure. It was just too big and bulky. It wouldn't fit in here because he has a relatively large one. It's one of those jumbo Crocs, and it's also pretty heavy. So this is just perfect for travel, for trips, for going to the vet, whatever. It's very lightweight, it's rubber, it won't hurt him if it moves around.
Next time, I'll show you traveling to the vet, what the vet visit was like, and getting home. All right, everybody, well, that's all for this week. And until next week, when I show you the rest of this trip, everybody please remember to always be kind and love your animals.